It's Sunday night, and you know what that means. So, Tony, this bus full of ugly people had a head-on collision with a truck. When they died, God granted them all one wish. The first person said, "I want to be gorgeous." God snapped his fingers and it happened. The second person said the same thing, and God did the same thing. So this just kept going on and on and on throughout the group. God noticed the last man in line was just laughing hysterically. By the time that God got to the last 10 people, the last man was just laughing and rolling on the ground. So finally, it comes to his turn. The man laughs and says, "I wish they were all ugly again." There's always that one on that bus, isn't there?
That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the greatest DC comic show on YouTube. It's Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. Tim Trashbag is not here tonight. Probably not a surprise. Comic Food 2814 was supposed to be here tonight. Now, I don't know, Tony. I wasn't paying all this much attention. This is what I got out of it. Something about he had to sell his couch because he bought these Green Lantern foils.
That's what I get out of it.
So that's why he couldn't be here tonight. I don't get it either.
Yep.
But we do have Signature King Tony Fett with us. And how are you?
Yeah. Good. Just another Sunday here. I was nice and quiet, so I was able to get some things done, especially here in the office. Playing Tetris with some of the file cabinets and stuff. So
Sure.
I think I found get some feng shui back, but because now I have more room. You couldn't tell before, but now I have more room here, so I'm actually putting my legs down here, so I'm comfortable now.
Yeah, the doggy has more room to lay down now.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. I would love to say that I accomplished a lot this weekend. I had the weekend off. I did not.
Okay.
It is what it is. What can I do about it now? Not much.
Yeah.
We are happy that everyone is joining us, especially if you're joining us on the Rewind for Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. That's awesome. We'll say hello to our live chat that's joining us right now. We have Cookie, Just a Little Podcast, with us. It's good to see Cookie here. And thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
We'll salute some more folks as they decide to stop in and visit with us. In the meantime, what's going on DC News-wise, Tony?
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. It's been pretty full news weekend. DC kind of announced, I don't know if you want to make an announcement, actors that appeared in the Snyderverse universe that are continuing to move forward, and there's some new names on the list.
Okay.
Some that I'm really excited about. Others I don't see how they're going to work, but Robin Wright.
I know who that is.
Yes, she is continuing to move
She's
forward.
Antiope.
Yes.
And she never, I mean, she's hardly in any of these things, but for the limited time that she is, to me,
she's good.
She really makes the most of those few minutes she gets.
Yeah. She gave this interview about, what it was like to be her character at Amazon. And she's like, yeah, it was great. I even stole my entire costume.
Oh, wow.
They said we couldn't keep them, but I sure did. So she kept all her stuff, which I thought was pretty fun. I would too. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the next one? Journey Smollett? Black Canary.
Oh, okay.
Her.
For a minute, I thought you were mispronouncing that. Jussie Smollett. We don't want him in our DC universe.
Yeah, right. I thought she was good. I'm okay with keeping her on as Black Canary.
I didn't like that version of Black Canary. That was my problem.
They'll fix it. It was in a Harley Quinn movie. They'll fix it.
Okay.
They'll fix it. We already said Idris Elba. Here is two of them that make me think. Really make me think. Desmond Hanasu. I don't know how to say his name. He's the wizard, Shazam.
Okay.
He's safe. So it makes me think maybe Zachary Levi is safe.
Mm-hmm.
His name's not on this list. Here's another one. Karen Fukuhara.
Bless you.
Katana.
Oh, Katana.
Katana is safe. Margot Robbie, we already know. So there's some new names on the list, which I think is pretty cool.
So I was hoping that we would get a name from one of the TV shows that was going on concurrently with the Snyderverse, and we didn't. Even though the actor has said he plans, he has said that he should be playing the same character on the big screen.
Who?
And that is Brenton, who plays Nightwing in Titans.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I remember last week we talked about it.
Yeah. Did you know that the final season of Titans, the final half of the season of Titans just got released? I mean, well, the first 3 episodes have. I've only watched the first one, and I really enjoyed it.
Which one was it 3? Was it
3. They dropped 3 episodes of this last half of the season, which is their final season.
I forget which episode it was, where Beast Boy kind of travels the multiverse.
That looks like, I haven't seen this one. It looks like it's the 3rd episode called Dude, Where's My Gar?
Yes, Dude, Where's My Gar?
I haven't seen that one yet, but that sounds to me,
like it's similar. If you've seen the Flash TV show, you kind of see them like briefly highlight some already we know like movies, like the one with Earth 89 from Batman 89.
Oh, that's interesting. I look forward to getting to that part then.
There's one cameo that
don't spoil it.
Caught right away. It's a person. It's not a movie.
Okay.
It's a person who's not an actor.
Oh, interesting.
It's never been an actor. I won't say who it is.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what character they think that they're portraying.
Okay.
Lex Luthor.
Interesting.
This person has never been in any DC film or movie project ever. But there they are. And it looks pretty good.
I didn't know that Elon Musk was doing that type of projects.
No, not Elon Musk. I'm going to see if you catch it. I'm sure you'll catch it. But but yeah, there's a great crossover in that episode.
Okay. Well, I look forward to getting to that.
With a current DC TV show that's happening.
Okay, cool.
Which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say hello to Paul S., who's joined us. It's good to see you, and I hope you've had a nice weekend.
Yes.
And we have Aggressively Relaxing with us as well. Hello, Vacuum Cleaner.
I should have been aggressively relaxing today, but alas.
Yeah. And for those that are wondering,
just in case.
Yeah, in case you forgot.
That's kind of the bigger news.
Okay.
Talking about the Snyderverse or whatever, but yeah. Other than that, nothing really big. A lot of it's just comic book news, exclusive covers and whatnot. For tonight's book, which would be great, but it's pretty humdrum the rest of the movie world.
We say hello to the Sniper Who. Good to see you, Nathan. Thanks for stopping by. Say hi to Nathan.
Oh yeah, there was one. Let me find it.
He's not going to say hi to you, Nathan.
There was one news article.
Nope, he's not going to do it.
Let's see. If I can find it. Whoops. That is not what I wanted. I won't even tell you what I said.
You were supposed to say hi to Nathan.
Yes, hello Nathan. Sorry.
It only took 3 requests.
Oh man, I can't figure out where I found it.
Be careful, we can make that happen.
Yeah, right. There was some Swamp Thing news, but I can't find it. Yeah. I cannot find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This particular actor who's in a Marvel universe followed Peter Safran, James Gunn, and liked this article about Swamp Thing. and says, "Damn, now I can't get Alec Holland off my mind." This was within the last couple of days. Who do you think that actor is? Marvel Universe. And I'll break it down even further. They are a villain.
Kurt Russell.
No.
He's in the Marvel Universe and he's a villain.
You're right, but he'd make a terrible Swamp Thing. This actor is bald.
It's not Telly Savalas.
No. This villain fought a couple different heroes. Actually, before I get to there, this villain was on the Netflix side of the house.
Okay.
If that helps.
I've watched most of that.
Okay. This villain fought 2 MCU heroes so far.
She-Hulk and...
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it
was Kingpin. That's... The Jackson Roy Kirk knows what's going on.
Yep.
Meow.
D'Onofrio. Yep.
Yeah, I would never have gotten that.
He followed a whole bunch of DC execs and liked a whole bunch of Swamp Thing stuff. And says, "Damn, and now I can't get Alec Holland off my mind." So jump on that rumor train because we're about to leave.
So speaking of Swamp Thing and not being able to get things off their mind, you remember the very first Swamp Thing movie, like 1980 Swamp Thing or 81 or whatever. Do you know who Varangian Vigilante can't get off his mind? Adrian Barbeau. As a matter of fact, I want a photo of Puff Comics, Stay Puff Comics, Sean, Varangian Vigilante, Adrian Barbeau, and myself all in one photo, and I'd be willing to pay for that. But the problem is I can't pay to get VV over to the United States to get that done because she's actually doing conventions this year.
Where's she from?
Adrian Barbeau lives in the United States. Varangian Vigilante, he lives over in Austria.
Oh. I understand. Okay.
Yeah. I'd pay for the photo, though, but...
Where's she doing conventions, just out of curiosity?
She's doing a bunch of them. I actually saw like 3 or 4 that she's either has been or is an upcoming guest for.
Dang.
Like across the U.S. So I actually have her autograph already from a long time ago on a Swamp Thing photo. So...
Very nice. I for those of you who don't know, I have Jackson Boswick coming.
Yeah.
So that's big. That's huge.
Is that this month?
That's in like a week.
Oh, a week. Nice.
Let me check. Yeah. This coming Saturday.
Oh, so. Nice. I met him a long time ago. Very nice.
Excited.
Man.
I'm nervous because I follow him on social media and he's been complaining about his health.
Oh.
He's he's not a young buck anymore. So
no.
So I'm just like,
I think that's awesome, and I know what you're going to get signed, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I think that you picked the perfect choice.
I was going to say, do you think that's a good choice?
No, I think it's the perfect choice. I don't think it's a good choice. I think it's the perfect choice.
That's the holy grail of choices I could have made.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, he's on it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it even has his name on it. In the costume and everything. So that's what I was thinking. I thought about buying another one, and then
it doesn't hurt to have a nicer. I'd get the higher graded or whichever is in the better condition signed.
Yeah, and then depending on what he charges for signatures, I'll probably get them. I could get them both. Maybe someone in the community that's a big Shazam fan that we met might like one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumbles. But so that's what I got going on coming up. I know that's kind of later in the show, but I'm excited for it. I really am.
I think that's awesome. That's I have Joanna Cameron's autograph, who played Almighty Isis.
I mean, you're so lucky.
And I wish I would have met her. I didn't actually meet her though, but I mean, I got my message across to her, and she was very sweet in replying to me, and I wish, though, that I still would have had the chance to tell her to her face what I wrote in her letter, which was very nice. One thing that I can say, I had the opportunity to her face, tell Linda Carter what I wanted to tell Linda Carter. It got me a hug from Linda Carter, too. I didn't see her hugging anyone else that night. So.
You dog.
I'm a dog. I'm a DAWG.
Man, that's cool. You had that opportunity for Linda Carter. I don't think I've met too many celebrities, really. Just a handful of minor TV ones, but
sure.
Linda Carter would be huge. I've never even had that opportunity. Jackson Bosway, I guess, is one of the bigger ones I've met or going to meet.
He actually lives near Foo.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Not that far from Foo. And speaking of,
case, got to throw it back out there.
You should let him know that. Say you live near Foo and Foo is a furry.
We'll get him to pay for a billboard on the interstate somewhere.
Well, shouldn't he know if he runs into Foo that he's a furry?
He'll probably know. He has the senses of the gods.
Look at that. I don't doubt that at all.
Is that the Star Trek lady?
I don't doubt that at all.
Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know nothing about Star Trek.
I think that Nicolette Nichols. I think she was on Star Trek. I don't know. I don't do Star Trek. I have no idea. But the name sounds familiar for whatever reason.
But I've seen you in the NX7062 podcast live stream.
That's true. And it's,
of course, I'm in there too, and I don't know anything about Star Trek either. So
we're in the same boat. I'm just there to help the community. That's all.
Yeah. Hello, Scott. How you doing? Good to see you.
You are right. It's
Hera.
Uhura.
Lieutenant. She's a lieutenant. Lieutenant Uhura, I think. Don't send me bad fan mail.
Send all your hate mail to the Fanboys P.O. Box.
Kira Fu is a furry.
Yes, we should. We should get a Fanboys P.O. Box just for fun, just to see what people send. That'd be fun.
Be interesting.
Because there's some people on the.
Do we really need more glitter in our lives?
Well, only one person's gonna open it. Whoever has the P.O. Box.
True.
So. In that case, I nominate Tim.
Yeah, because he's got the trash bag.
He's got the trash bag. That's right.
Tim opened his glitter-filled AOK wearing a trash bag, which has now earned him the last name of trash bag. So it's Tim trash bag, Tom trash bag, Tamantha trash bag.
If I ever got one of those boxes, not only would I open it in my garage, I would open it with the surgical precision that I possibly could. Folding everything, taking my time, be the most boring unboxing of all time.
I did best because I opened mine inside of a trash bag. Inside, I just put Tim was wearing a trash bag. I didn't wear one. I just put the box inside and opened it as I was going. I still got some, but not much.
Static is your biggest problem with glitter.
Yeah, it is.
I read somewhere that the dryer sheets, if you kind of rub yourself down, it kind of like takes out all the static, so you'll be static free at least for a little bit. That's
not my fetish, though.
Hey, man, it's somebody's.
I'm sure it is.
Someone's in the dryer sheets. Hey, it's better than Tide Pods.
I bought all these Tide Pods, and no one that trick or treated with me last year wanted them. I mean, talk about how fast kids' moods change.
Right? What was that? Was it the Halloween movie where the kid bit into an apple and there was a razor blade in the apple? What movie was that?
I don't know, but they used to tell us about that when I was a kid and warn us about that.
I had the same, parents yell at me for it. Like, you got to check the candy. I was like, check the candy for what? Razor blades. Like, there's 5 people in this town. Like, even if they did that, we'd all know who it was.
Yeah.
In about 2 minutes. It was Bob. He's the only jerk handing out apples on Halloween.
You don't need a Scooby-Doo crew to uncover that mystery.
Nope.
Huh. So our retro review tonight was picked by you, but it's not very retro.
It's retro if you are a mayfly.
Tell us what it is and why you selected it tonight.
I feel like it's a story that you and I were tracking for a long time. Once it was announced that it was coming out, and we were both kind of excited because honestly, in my opinion, this story should have happened a long time ago. Maybe not this story exactly, but a big Shazam Wonder Woman team up book, something epic should have happened a long time ago. But we're getting it now, which is fine.
So this ties in with DC's Lazarus Planet event, which overall I think people have been enjoying.
Yes, this is actually one of the bigger titles in terms of highest reviewed titles.
Okay.
Of the Lazarus Planet series. So, but that's kind of why I picked it. Because we're both fans of these two characters, and they're getting this big story together, which, like I said, should have happened a while ago. But because they're the same pantheon of gods, one plot hole I've always kind of thought of, what if one of the gods in Wonder Woman's pantheon, something happened to them? How would that affect, like Zeus, for example? What if something happens to Zeus? How would that would affect both characters? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Hello to Perry Gaming. Good to see you.
What's up, buddy? And maybe that's kind of what I want to happen is, but this is good too. This is a good story. Like I said, it's one of the higher rated Lazarus stories so far. And I like it.
Cool. Well, if you want to bring up,
imagine if George Perez wrote this. George Perez, Neil Adams, you know what I mean? Some of those old school guys. This is fun. Like I said, it's fine too. The talent on here is good. We have Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. That's okay.
Be careful. They might be watching my channel.
They might.
On the rewind.
I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean it. G. Willow Wilson on the pen. But let me... I have it up here somewhere.
Yeah, I'll get us started with issue number 1.
All right, I got it. Let me pop up my screen here.
So the Sniper Who, this is a book that is like still on shelves at comic stores, just FYI.
These covers have been badass.
Yeah, they have.
Look at that. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. So we fit more of it. You appreciate the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yeah. Well, I'll get us started on issue number 1 then.
Go for it.
So we begin with 2 ladies in Philadelphia that are talking to each other about you got to, one telling you got to communicate with your husband about what you need and stuff. And all of a sudden she just changes her tone to the other woman. And she's like, you're going to have an affair with who? She's like, with him. And she's like, with who? With my husband while I'm at the gym getting in shape. That's why you want me to. And then all of a sudden we see another person, boom. And he's been hit and he knows the winning lottery numbers. Boom, an old lady knows that she's going to have a stroke on Thursday afternoon. And as we go on, we see other people around Philly that are just being affected. And there we see the god. It's Apollo. He's been the one who's been shooting these arrows that's been putting the wisdom or these thoughts into people, knowing what's going to happen in the future. Well, Billy Batson notices that something's going on to everyone when all of a sudden he gets struck. He rips the arrow out. He's kind of wondering what the heck. And Apollo says to him, even that which you desire, you should fear. You have forgotten how to honor the gods, but you will learn. Apollo, giver of prophecy, will teach you. And Billy says, oh boy. So then we cut over to Cairo and we see one of Sekhmet. I probably pronounced it incorrectly. Sekhmet, the goddess, has come back and she wants to be worshipped. Give her what she needs and she will be merciful. We go over to the next page, Tokyo. So we see this event's going around the world and no one is being spared of what's coming on. It's coming for all of us sooner or later. The twist of fate we did not expect and none of us are prepared. In Iceland, the animals are getting hit too. And we have the people running from it and they're scared. And that cuts us to Mount Olympus. So there we have Zeus, who's been killed by Hera as she's taken the crown as the queen of Olympus. And next to her is the wizard Shazam. And Hera's saying, you know what? This is a very comfortable chair. I never realized how well cushioned it is. And she goes on to talk to the wizard Shazam, and she's wondering if the plans are going as they had intended, and he's confirming that yes, they are. When all of a sudden Hermes comes in, he has news for Queen Hera. In Iceland, they built a shrine to Skadi, probably still mispronouncing that. It's the first one they've had to her in 1,000 years. So the gods are starting to get worshipped again. And Hera finds that to be excellent news. She says the time of mortal ambition is over. The revenge of gods is at hand. So we cut to Washington, D.C. Inside this embassy, we have a meeting going on. We have Cheetah, Etta Candy, Wonder Woman, and Yara Flor. And they're trying to determine what we're going to do. Cheetah's saying, we got more caped and masked heroes. We can assemble all of them. We have numbers the gods don't. And Yara's like, we can't do that. And Cheetah's like, well, do you have a better plan? And Diana interjects that we can't sacrifice innocent people at the altar of the gods' ambition. We almost lost Siggy and Steve. So Yara says that they have to send someone up there to confront them. And Diana says, how do we even know that they'd listen to what I have to say? And Yara says, it's because you're the daughter of Hippolyta and Zeus, a link between this world and that. If the gods won't listen to you, they won't listen to anyone. And Diana knows that she's right when she says that. And her heart is still apprehensive. For the most powerful weapon of the gods has not yet been revealed. So Diana agrees that she's going to go to Olympus to plead the case. She says, if I don't return in 2 days, assume I have failed and prepare to defend yourselves. So Ed is wondering why this event is going on now. Why are these gods doing this now? Cheetah says because they're petty and mean like all the stories say. Yara interjects that it's more than that. Without worship, the gods have begun to die. They feed off of human belief, and the root of belief is terror. So on the banks of the Potomac River, we have some kids that are searching for stuff. One of them is telling their friends that they shouldn't be out there. It's not safe. And he says, come on, Kyle, where there are monsters, there's got to be treasures. But we're not supposed to be here. But he insists, I know that there's a treasure there. And this hooded person says, your friend isn't wrong. For there is a treasure here. And he's on the same errand. So he's looking. Now let's see. And all of a sudden, there it is. And he runs into the water. He goes to grab it. And what comes out is a golden hand. And he says, it's not just any hand, my child. This is the hand of a god. And it will change the course of this war. So now we're cutting back to Mount Olympus, where Diana has arrived to speak. She finds Zeus and lying there. And she says, why is the king of the gods lying defiled and unburied like a pile of old rags? And Hera says, please, you never liked your father. No reason to start now. He was a useless adulterer. I find him more appealing as a corpse. That's pretty strong stuff.
Jeez.
And as for Hippolyta, she's been sent on an errand by Hera. And she's like, well, Diana, you don't need her anyway. She tells Diana suffering is a part of life. All beings struggle against one another to survive. And Diana's asking, is this what you thought you will gain through this horror? Is this really worth having? And she says, is what you will lose by siding with the mortals really worth sacrificing? And Diana inquires, what is that? And she says, hasn't it occurred to you? If the gods die out, the Amazons will die with them. And Diana's like, no, that can't be true. And Hera's like, oh, but it is true, daughter of Hippolyta, for the Amazons are created of the same undying substance as the gods. Without reverence of humankind, Themyscira will perish. And Diana just can't believe it, because Themyscira is not part of Olympus. We are like gods, but we're not gods. And Hera says, you have always tried to have it both ways, Diana. Here it is, just as I had feared. Now you must choose your sister Amazons or the mortal men of Earth. So I think that's a good conflict right there that we've set up. Now we're cutting to where Hippolyta is in the mission that she's been sent on. Hecate is following Hippolyta and essentially taunting her on this page about, you're a god now, you should be loyal to us. Why are you not being loyal to us? And they start to scrap just a little bit. We cut back to Diana with Hera, and Diana's inquiring if there's another way. And Hera says, well, your mother undertook the same ascension without complaint. You should just become a god. Don't be upset. And Diana says, I would give up every power I have to prevent my sisters from suffering or protect the mortal world from terror and oppression. And Hera says, would you? Would you really? And then she says, that's exactly what I hope to hear. And Diana asks what she must do, and Hera says nothing. You just stay where you are. It's a much simpler process than one might think, turning someone into a god. Zeus always made it such a fuss, but she found that with this power, it's quite trivial. So she starts to turn Diana into a god so she can be one of them and kind of becomes the goddess of eternity. Now, as we continue, there's a separate story in here, a brief story here. This is off the shores of Themyscira, and we have these two guys that have sent a drone out ahead of themselves, and they know that they found Themyscira, the Amazonian home of Wonder Woman, and they're shooting it for their YouTube. They even make a mention of smash, like, hit that bell, and be sure to give a big thumbs up. I mean, you hear that pretty frequently on YouTube. All of a sudden, the drone is shot down by an arrow. So this has been witnessed by Queen Nubia and some of the other Amazons. They're thinking maybe they discovered this place by accident. The green rain has stopped. It seems they found our shores, but was it on their own? Or then another Amazon says, doesn't matter. Even if they slip through the mystical protection from man's world, this isn't an open house. And Nubia says, these are clearly not enemies or undead soldiers. They're civilians. And then she says, so we'll treat them as such and send them on their way. And Nubia's accused of going a little bit soft and treating them a little bit light. And, Nubia says the gods wouldn't like it if we started killing innocent sister. Typical is the response, So they go to check out what these boys are doing. In the meantime, they've landed on Themyscira. They're filming. One of them is starting to get a little bit scared, and he kind of wants to pull out and get off the island. He just doesn't have a good feeling. They see a kanga there, and they know it's kind of like a kangaroo, but they're a little bit shocked by that. When all of a sudden there's that sound, that foom, and he turns around to see that his friend Josh has been attacked and hit by an arrow, and he's dead. Then all of a sudden he gets hit with an arrow. And we see this mysterious stranger who's fired the arrows, smiling and taking pride in the work that they've done. And at the bottom, he says, greetings, my queen, as Nubia and the other Amazons have arrived. And they're asking his name and his business and how he came about the shores. And he says, I was here to do you a service. Let me remind you that man's world fears anything it does not understand. If video got out, world leaders would be lining up to annex your island. And they threaten him to start giving some answers that they want, or they're going to, attack him. And Nubia restates that claim and wants to know who he is. The stranger says, think of me as a messenger, one bearing ill news. And he says, hear me, women of Themyscira. Your sacred island is no longer under the protection of the gods. Your magic, your immortality have all been revoked. Trust me, you're going to want allies, because from here on out, the Amazons stand alone.
Crazy.
Yeah. Let's say hello to Nigel, who's here. Hi, Nigel. Great to see you. Something to think about there. Something to think about. Oh, Michael's here as well. So, hey, Michael, how you doing?
Yes.
Oh, everybody. And Tony's here too. I can't overlook Tony. Yes. How you doing? He had a great live stream the other night.
He did. It
even got hijacked.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
It got hijacked. But anyway, with issue 2, Signature King Tony.
Yeah, so issue 2, we jump back to Philadelphia. We see Billy being chased by, we don't know what they are, so we're just going to say possessed peoples. I think that's the correct term. So he's trying to hide from them, and then he sees across the street Fawcett Central High School being attacked by giants. So he's like, oh man, okay, now I gotta help. So he turns into Shazam, says the word, goes up there, starts punching giants. You can actually do a little bit of giant damage, get it? But they hurt, which means they are obviously from the God realm. So he's up there fighting them and giving them the business. Mary Marvel comes in and she says, hey, little brother, where you been? Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, hey, if you haven't noticed, I'm incredibly busy. So she jumps in now they're both fighting giants. So he's like, listen, I got to get to DC. I can't explain. You fight the giant. So he turns back into Billy, zips back over, and he sees the now makes sense. I think this is Wonder Woman, the goddess of eternity, but he doesn't know that. It's just a figure. And said, "Hey, get to DC. Get the answers you'll need, and you'll find them on Mount Olympus." So he gets to DC, tries to go to DC. Cut back to DC, and we see Yara Flor fighting, and I cannot remember the name of this monster. It's a Greek god villain. I can't remember what it is. The three-headed dragon. She cuts down the dragon. And now that the dragon's defeated, they're like, okay, listen, the time has passed. Diana's dead. We need to make a plan. This war is coming, whether we like it or not. Other parts of DC, we see Billy jumping on a bus, sitting next to a masked figure or a hooded figure with a golden hand in his pocket. All of a sudden, the bus is attacked by a two-headed rat, dog, cat thing. But this hooded figure jumps out the window and starts cutting him in half. Billy turns into Shazam, kind of helps out a little bit. They're able to beat these creatures back with Yara. And Billy's there's a great line in here. I gotta find it, but anyway, he says, "Hey, you're an Amazon. You're supposed to take me to Mount Olympus." And she's like, "I don't even know you, but that sounds like something Hippolyta would do." And he's like, "Listen, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just go to Mount Olympus." So she agrees, takes him. We'll cut back to Mount Olympus, and you see this red streak right here come flying through the guards. What in the name of what in the name of Zeus's cold corpse was that? That was pretty funny. That one made me laugh. But anyway, Hera is right. It's Hera, right? Yeah, Hera, the new god of the gods. And he's like, "Listen, we need answers for your crimes against humankind." She laughs at them and says, "You're a foolish boy. Do you think I can't just see who you really are?" And then she's like, "Oh, hey, I got someone I'd like you to meet. It's the wizard Shazam." And he's like, "Oh, you can tell." He's like, "This can't be good." And she's like, "Hey, do you know this old guy?" He's like, "Yeah, we've met." And the wizard takes the power of Shazam away from Billy. So now he's just essentially a dude. But here's the thing, like, I don't think they show it, but they just took away the power. Like, he's still a man, you know what I mean? Like, he's not Billy Batson the kid. He's still a guy with no powers. I thought that was kind of unique.
Yeah.
And that's it. There was a second story here, wasn't there?
I thought there was a second story on yours.
Yeah, they just don't have it in here. So
Okay.
unfortunately, there's no picture. But anyway, back on Themyscira, it's called the Plague. Let's see if I can do it this way. You want to make me big? There
Yep.
So it's the Plague here. Oops. And it looks like the Dora Milaje. Just kidding, the Amazons. But it does look like, a lot of Dora Milaje from the movie Black Panther. But the Amazons are fighting this huge undead army full of draugrs and zombies and skeletons. And they all have their, this is pretty funny, they all have their battle kangaroos.
Mm-hmm. They're kangas, yeah.
They're battle kangas, and they're ready to attack this hill. And they're all climbing on top of this big mountain, and they say, who do they leave in charge?
Was it Charles?
What is her name?
Is it Philippus?
Philippus.
Yeah.
So they leave Philippus in charge. And Philippus, like the great general she is, first order, fire, just kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
Give fire. So that's what they do. Just this big, huge fire attack. Then they finally figure out where they're going. They're going to the museum that houses all the god's weapons. So like, yeah, we have an armory, so we can take this to them. But and that's it. That wraps up issue 2. What do you think?
I think it's an intriguing issue. I think the storyline is intriguing. So I know issue 3 is out. I haven't gotten my copy yet, so I haven't read it yet. But I've enjoyed. Does it live up to as good as how the first 2 were?
Not really.
Gotcha.
Not really. But you can tell that they're setting something up. So it might just be like telling some backstory till we get to the issue.
So based just on these 2 issues that we retro reviewed right now on a 1 to 5 scale, 5 being the best, thoughts and comments and a grade.
I think the story is good. Or at least so far. The story's good so far. I'm holding reservations on the rest. The story's good so far. The art is, on par with Wonder Woman. Who is the artist on this one? It was a lot of people. And you can tell because there's a couple pages you can tell they switched artists like halfway through, and that's okay. I just don't understand why they do that for, like this is a number 2. Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the art's pretty good. I'm looking forward to the future, but if I had to give it a grade, 3 out of 5, just because it's too early to go anything higher, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm looking forward to Shazam and Wonder Woman together, doing something together. That's what I wanted in the movie. That's what I wanted here. The first issue was very Wonder Woman heavy, which was fine with me. The second issue seemed to be much more Shazam heavy, which is only fair. But I want the merging of the 2. Yeah.
And I read issue 3. There is a part that we get, a big battle, but it's not Wonder Woman Diana. It's Wonder Woman Yara Flor.
Gotcha.
That's okay. She's so cool, but I agree. I want the Wonder Woman and Shazam big fight because that's what it was advertised.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 just on these 2 issues. Okay. Granted, I know that I'm only basing it on half a story. That second story that I read with the boys filming for YouTube coming to Themscare, I thought was really good. Now that was the Michael Conrad, Becky Cloonan written portion of the issue. I liked that one a little bit more than I liked even the main story too. And there has been some tie-ins in the Wonder Woman comic book too, especially with Mary Marvel. I don't know if you've been reading, if you picked those up or read those or not, Tony, but there's been some tie-ins with that too. If you don't read them, you're not missing anything of the story. It's not like when we did War of the Gods, where if you didn't read the tie-ins, my gosh, you were lost between issues.
Yeah.
You don't need them, but it does help make things fuller. Just overall in the story, I think, if you read it.
Agreed. Yeah. Interesting couple of issues so far. So I don't know how many issues total they're going to make.
4.
Does it say 4? Okay.
It's 4. Yep. And they've been doing these every 2 weeks.
Okay. But some of the covers have been looking pretty nice. So
covers have been awesome. I'm going to show one in my book show at the end, but I was going to wait a little bit more towards the end.
Okay. I'll wait for you then. We'll show them all together at once.
Yeah. Anything else that you want to talk about regarding this? And in the meantime, I should say we're going to have some extra time in tonight's Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. If you guys have any questions regarding this or regarding anything that you want to talk about, especially DC Comics related, or just tell us some of the books you're hunting or want to talk about comic books in general, we'll definitely have some time to do some questions and answers.
If you want to talk about big-time collectibles.
Those foils are still available.
I really am surprised.
So here's a little bit of a backstory on that. In our Fanboys chat, there were some hot dogs, some fanboys that, I hope I can get the Green Lantern foil collectibles when they go on sale. I hope they don't sell out before I can get them. There was a lot of worry. There was a lot of countdowns to the minute that they were about to go on sale. Well, needless to say, they didn't have anything to worry about because they haven't sold out yet.
Here, let me pop it up here so they can see. So this is them. This is the set in question.
Yeah. Not that.
Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So these are all the foil covers for the new Green Lantern coming out, new number 1. So
For Dawn of DC.
Dawn of DC. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I like them.
Now, in fairness, the other covers that they've been doing on other titles have been selling out instantly.
Yes.
Superman, Batman, the Batman Beyond.
Yeah, the Batman Beyond one. This one sold out. It went on sale at 8. I think by 8:05 it was gone.
Yeah. Our friend James did not get one. I asked him.
Oh, shoot. He didn't? Yeah,
no, he
sold
didn't.
out. Of all options, I think. It sold out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't get anything. Not even a graded copy.
Yeah.
Completely sold out. Limited to, I don't forget what it says. I think it's like 2,500.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's what we've been doing behind the scenes, just freaking out about.
And I've been laughing at you guys.
Like a bunch of nerds.
Yes.
It's only a matter of time before they do a Wonder Woman cover.
No.
It's going to happen.
No.
You don't think so?
No. And let me tell you why, okay?
Okay.
I'm not saying big time collectibles here, but a lot of retailers got burned when they did their exclusive cover for Wonder Woman number 750. That's the Wonder Woman issue with the most covers of all time in her 80 years of being published. And a lot of them got stuck with books. I mean, even some that they only did 250 covers of, they didn't even sell out on those. So really? A lot of people got stuck. There were only a few covers that like instantly sold out.
I only just wanted one. The cover didn't bother me. Whatever my LCS had, that was fine with me.
Well,
I can imagine a super fan like you.
I bought all 54 whatever covers there were.
Jeez.
54 covers for one book. And it wasn't even a regular price book. It was a $9.99 book.
And that was the rarest of the...
Well, I mean, I'm just saying the average book that you got at the LCS, it wasn't a $3.99 book. It was a $9.99 book.
Oh, yeah, for an anniversary issue.
Yeah.
A big milestone.
So I just think that burned a lot of retailers. I also think them seeing that this Green Lantern didn't sell... Let's be honest. They thought it was going to sell a lot faster than it has.
Yeah,
and it hasn't.
I agree.
And it hasn't. I mean, that's not a knock on it. That's just a fact. But you guys enjoy it, and that's what counts. Fu said having that Superman one, just seeing that book, just, how much he loves that and how he hasn't been this excited for an exclusive cover in quite some time. Then that's perfect. That's the perfect audience for it. I don't think it's going to happen with Wonder Woman, and I'm good with it. Trust me when I tell you, I'm buying 8 covers a month as it is on this title, and I'm getting sick of it. So
I think here's my rebuttal.
Okay, rebuttal.
I think they will.
Why?
Think they will, because you have to take a few things into consideration. If you look at like the Batman Beyond one or the Green, let's take the Batman Beyond one. It's minimal. Batman Beyond sells like hotcakes. You know what I mean? Everybody, even people who don't care for the rest of the DC universe, they love Batman Beyond. I think Green Lantern's a little bit more of a niche market, like a more of a narrowed focus.
Sure, I get that. Yeah.
Wonder Woman, I think, is another one of those characters like people don't read comics, but for whatever reason, they absolutely go bonkers over Wonder Woman stuff. So,
but do they go bonkers over Wonder Woman merchandise or Wonder Woman comic books? Because I found that some of the people that necessarily buy Wonder Woman merchandise don't buy the comics.
I know a few people that do both. They don't really know anything about the comic books. They just like to say, hey, look at me. I've got my Wonder Woman comic book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never read it, never will read it. Couldn't tell you anything about it, but here it is. So I think that's more of a realistic possibility. Plus, I think what killed them in the Green Lantern portion of it is they didn't say it was limited to X number of copies.
True.
You know what I mean? But the Batman Beyond, boy, they let you know there's only 1,200 copies of that.
Yep. Hey, look at what Paul has to say. I think this is pretty awesome. So he found a Super Friends #1 this week, and now he's only 4 issues away from completing the run. He needs 19, 26, 33, and 46. So I think that's awesome. I've completed the run. There's some copies that I'd like to upgrade mine of. Super Friends was one of the very first comic books that I ever owned. So that's actually, I remember saying, how much I love Wonder Woman from reading Super Friends, and I was told, well, she has her own book, and I had no idea. Mind blown at that little kid stage. But I think that's awesome. I love Super Friends, the cartoon. I love the comic book as well, and those stories are fun.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's a good run to collect too. So, congratulations. I'm sure that's one of those stories where, you can find the books. Not hard. It's finding them in decent quality. That's the hard part.
Yeah. That's why I still have some more to upgrade, because mine were very well loved.
Especially for my Shazam 73 series. Not necessarily hard to come by, just hard to find. That didn't look like someone threw it down every flight of stairs in their school for an entire year. Yeah.
Well, let's segue into our book show portion and talk about what's going on with our channels. Do you want to go first, Tony?
Sure. For book show, it's really Yara Flor heavies, and I have this really cool, and we're talking about foils, Yara Flor foil. So that's pretty cool. My complaints about foils like this, you can tell you cannot help but get fingerprints all over it.
Yeah.
Some of them are on the Mylar, so it's not that big a deal, but I forget what foil variant this is. Normally they put like a sticky tab on the back.
That was a team shared variant.
Yes. Or a label on the backboard.
It's like the Gramp variant, GRAMP.
Team Gramp. Yep. Team
Gramp.
And I had no, I did not. Sorry. Never mind.
What's going on your channel?
Shorts. Tim recently tagged a bunch of us in top 5 keys in your collection.
Tim Trashbag, right?
Tim the Trashbag, Wu-Tang Tim, whichever one. As long as you know who I'm talking about. Everyone was kind of putting their own spin on the top 5. So I put my own top 5 keys with sentimental value. So
nice.
That was my contribution. So check that out. It wasn't all DC. So that's surprising.
Interesting. Yeah.
Check it out if you're curious.
Yeah. So on my channel, this past week, I had my back issue of the week short. And then I also did a Spider-Man themed spectacular spider haul. I've been doing those about one a month, and I dropped the April video for the month this past week. So coming up on my channel tomorrow, I have a back issue of the week, which is DC. It's Bronze Age DC with 2 key characters. And it's a childhood favorite of mine, and I explain why. And why I picked this for this week even. There's a specific reason why. So that's dropping tomorrow morning. Then on my comic book editions video, I have an AOK unboxing from my friend Andre in Brazil. AOK'd me again. What's going on with that?
I need a cool Brazilian friend to send me stuff.
Yeah. So, and he sent some good stuff, and I unboxed that in Tuesday's video. So that is what's coming out this upcoming week on my channel too. For a book show, I wanted to do something that tied into what we read today. And Tony, I'm sure you're not going to be surprised when I show my book show is this. So we got foil, negative space goodness. I have yet to see any video that truly does this cover justice like it does in person. This is the book that I reviewed tonight, Revenge of the Gods, issue number 1, the Daniel Samphir 1 in 50 foil variant. And this thing is going for coin online already.
It's made out of gold.
It is. It's awesome. And Daniel is going to be the new artist when the Tom King run of Wonder Woman starts in September. He's going to be the regular monthly artist.
They didn't do a Shazam version of that too.
They should have. That would have tied in so nicely.
Red foil, you know what I mean? Negative.
Yeah, exactly. But
that would have been cool.
I was really happy to get this because this thing went pretty fast in most places. So
1 in 50. Wow.
Yeah, it was a 1 in 50.
And that's not even that big of a ratio. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, I've seen prices. I think the highest that I saw that actually sold was 200 on eBay.
That is a coin.
Yeah.
You're right. That is a coin, but that's a beautiful cover.
It is.
Are you going to slab it?
I might. I mean, I think about it. CGC's raising prices again, so
not
who knows?
Yes. In fact, they're slashing prices right now.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've got on.
It's a beautiful cover, and I think a cover like that, especially if it's a 1 in 50, and a cool cover like that, slabbing it would just preserve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely it would.
Because it's something you want to pull out and show people, and
yeah, you have it for the cover.
You have it for the cover, and it would just protection wise. You know what I mean? Like pull them out of the drawer every time. No.
Yeah.
You know, that wear and tear on that spine, but it is a beautiful cover, and I'm very jealous that you have it. But I am upset that they didn't make a cool Shazam one.
They should have
totally bought the heck out of it.
Yeah, Shazam, they absolutely should have. No, he doesn't. So
it's supposed to be a team up for both of them, but Wonder Woman right now is getting all the attention.
Did you buy last month? DC had a bunch of titles that had Shazam variants to it for the movie. Did you buy those?
I didn't buy. I don't remember if I got any of them. To be honest,
I mean, I got the Wonder Woman issue. I mean, she's not on the cover; it's just a Shazam cover on a Wonder Woman issue.
Oh yeah, you know what? There was one Wonder Woman cover I thought was pretty cool, but I don't remember. I don't think I picked it up. It was like a Wonder Woman, but like she had the power of Shazam. I mean, it's just a cool cover gimmick, but I thought that was kind of neat. I didn't buy it. I don't know why. It was at my LCS. It's on the regular comics area.
Yeah. So these weren't incentives or anything. They were just regular variant covers.
Yeah. But yeah. Dang, I should have bought that.
I don't think I have the Wonder Woman one near me. I don't think I do.
No, I don't either. But
no, I don't have it.
Speaking of Dawn of DC, is there anything coming up that you like? Other than Wonder Woman.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it. I like what they're doing with Nightwing and the important role that character's taken. And I'm reading Nightwing digitally now. And I've made a commitment to do that. I need to start reading digitally Justice Society. I know a lot of people talked about issue number 1. I want to know what the rest of the issues since 1, that 1 or 2 other ones have lived up to number 1. But I think I would enjoy that a lot too.
Yes. Yeah. So we have Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, John Stewart, Green Arrow, Cyborg, Unstoppable Doom Patrol. That would be cool. I think. That one I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Steelworks, which is the Steel, I can't remember his name. Superman Steel. And his family. Hawkman and Hawkwoman, the Atom. Let me let this thing load real quick. I think actually that's all that's out. So not out, but announced.
I could be interested in that Hawkman, Hawkwoman, I think. That's a character.
And Batman Beyond.
Okay. Hawkman is a character that we need to spend some more time on Retro Review with because we don't do enough with that character.
Infinity Inc. and Justice League. That's it.
Interesting. Okay.
For Justice League, it says they're going to re-examine the team after they recently died. That's all it says.
Okay.
So I don't know. Are they dead?
See, I don't know if Justice League, if they're back from being dead, or if the Teen Titans are now the Justice League. I'm a little confused on that.
Like in my mind when I was a kid, that's how it made sense. The Justice League would stop being the Justice League. The Titans would be the new Justice League.
Yeah. And
the Teen Titans would go to just be Titans. And they'd find all new Teen Titans. I never read
there's some great Hawkman stuff. And definitely, I definitely think that you'll be seeing that sooner than later on the Retro Review.
Hawkman is a very undervalued character.
There's a really good backup Martian Manhunter story from the Bronze Age that I really want us to feature sometime on Retro Review as well, because I found it by accident and have just enjoyed the heck out of it. So that's some of the stuff that you probably can expect in the future. In the meantime, as we wrap up this Sunday's greatest DC comic show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review, I'll remind you that there's links for everyone in the description to this video. If you're not subbed, please sub up. Of course, everyone that's in the chat, sub those folks up too and continue to grow our community. There's some people putting out some amazing content as well. And you can help support that simply just by clicking that subscribe button and turning on the notification bells. So I know as a creator myself how much it's appreciated. That wraps up this week's Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. We look forward to spending time with you again next Sunday night for our next episode. Until then, have a fantastic week and take care. And don't forget
Yes.